Have you checked on your local mall lately? And come with me as I go through our mall here and what I think can be done to save it. This is Frontier Mall in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I had to go to the mall yesterday because I needed to return some stuff to JCPenney. Now I have to admit, I haven't been to the mall in 3, 4, 5 years, and I must say there's not a lot going on. As I walked through the mall, I counted 17 empty stores, including the old movie theater. According to the Frontier Mall website, there's a total of 70 stores. So that means that nearly a quarter of all the stores in our mall are empty. I can see why those units would be hard to lease with how few people I saw in the mall. And that is just a ton of vacant space sitting there, some of it empty for years. So I think the Frontier Mall should hop on board with what a lot of other malls are doing and converting their empty units into residential space. I have some ideas on how Frontier Mall can make it work. Here's a floor plan of the entire mall. But for this exercise, I want to use these spaces right here. Now, I'm not an architect or engineer, general contractor, interior designer, or anything like that. This is just one realtor's thoughts on how to help the housing crisis and the downfall of malls in America. So if we look at all three of these spaces right here, it has a total of 6,679 square feet. And I have a couple ideas on how we can use that space and get 6 residential rentals out of it. So my first idea is if we take the first 10 to 15-ish feet off of the whole thing, we kind of make it a private entrance seating area for the tenants as they come in. And then we would have each of the 6 units oriented like this. That would allow their entrance to be at the front and maybe a couple windows too. And if we use the floor plan kind of like this and we oriented it in this location in each space, it would kind of look like this. And you would have 6 rental units with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms each, and a little kind of private entryway up here. Alternatively, if we get rid of that entryway, that private entrance, and just stretch the units out so that you would enter into the mall directly, have a couple windows facing that way, and using a floor plan similar to this, except flip these 2 bedrooms and the living room kitchen, so the living room's at the front, and we turn it, and it looks something like this. So now we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 6 total units in that space. So what about money? I don't know each unit's specific price per square foot, but I do know that another space in the mall is being leased at $10 a square foot, which if it's the same for this space, that would make the monthly rent $5,566 per month. So if you were to take that, divide by the 6 residential spaces we're planning for, that would be $928 per month. But there's development costs, and the developer is going to want to make some money off of this, right? So let's look at what's even possible. Just a quick look at Zillow. It says 2-bedroom rentals have a median price of $1,100 per month here in Cheyenne. There's some that go up to $1,700 or $1,800 a month for newer units. But let's use $1,100 a month in our calculations just to be safe. That would bring in $6,600 a month, which is more than it's currently being rented for in a commercial space at $10 per square foot, if that's what it is. But if we use the bigger plan, where it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, the medium 3-bedroom rent price here in Cheyenne is $1,500 a month, with some going up to about $1,800, $1,900 a month. At $1,500 a month, that brings in $9,000 a month in monthly income for those 6 units. Now, $9,000 a month doesn't look too bad. That puts the price per square foot about $16. Now, the mall has 17 empty spots. That's a good number of empty spaces. So here's the next thing to consider. By making these spaces residential units, you increase the value of the commercial spaces around them, because now you have shoppers right there, right next to you, ready to buy at your store. Now imagine you live in the unit right here, and you want a late night snack. Are you going to go hop in your car and drive somewhere to get something, or even order DoorDash when you can leave your front door, walk down the side, and come in and get a crumble cookie or maybe a burger from Five Guys? Now here's the thing. One of these empty spaces is the movie theater. That's 31,000 square feet of space that could be converted. If it were able to be divided up cleanly into all separate units, let's say you're looking at 25 to 30-ish more units, I don't know, maybe you could get 2 levels out of it because of the ceiling height. Number of units are starting to look pretty good, and those commercial spaces are starting to look even better too. Now you have even more households who are within convenient walking distance, all indoors, for those businesses. And now businesses are actually wanting to come into the mall. Pretty soon the food court gets busy again. The arcade is swamped with kids after school and on weekends. People's health improves because Planet Fitness is literally right there, or even just from walking around the mall. There are just so many benefits to converting these empty spaces that are just sitting into residential units. So we just have to make the numbers work enough for a developer to get interested and do it. It's happening in other areas around the country. I'm sure it could work here too. If there's any developers out there who want me to help, just let me know. So that's my idea for how to help the Frontier Mall here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, while also helping our housing crisis. So what do you think? Living in a mall be so bogus? Or do you think it would be totally bitchin'? Make sure to like, follow, and favorite. And if you're thinking of moving around Cheyenne, into Wyoming, really anywhere, just let me know. I'm here to help however I can.